herself in bronze. She's getting a medal. What color will it be? She's about to light this place up once again, Jen.
So let's talk about what Hannah could do here to get back that second or maybe even first place position. She's got a switch 3 in her run a little later on. If she could turn that into a 7 and improve on some of the technicality in her run, she might be able to get it done. So here is that 7, setting up for the switch, sticking with the 3, but man, 10 feet out on that switch 3, and there is the 900. Best run for her of the night, no doubt. What an epic contest. Her first hit was 18 feet out of the half pipe. That's 40
huge.
feet above the ground. That is 4 stories in the air. That is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Years ago, they did a biggest hit contest, and Aspen local Peter Olenek won it with a 25-foot alley-oop flat spin, and she was right in the mix there, 18 feet out. There's that 720. And at the end here, this 900, getting the safety grab, this was much cleaner than the 9s that we've seen out of her so far tonight. So she's pumped. I mean, how could you not be?
I mean, it's your first ever. Currently sits in that bronze medal spot as we send her into the pipe for her last attempt.
Britta completely shocked me last run with that 1080 in the middle of her run. So if she can clean that up, it could be a contender. So far, so good. Into the 1080, squeaking it around. Here is the switch 360 Japan grab. The left side 540, and closing it out with the right side 720. Cleaner than her last run. But I don't know if it's enough for her to get that gold. But if she could take home another medal,
she's assured one. At the very worst, she leaves here with a bronze because there's only 2 skiers left, and they're both ahead of her in the standings for now.
Going so big on that 9, getting totally inverted. And this alley-oop, I just love it. I'm glad that's still a part of her run. Some style points. And here is that final right side 7. Great skiing from Britta tonight.
Yeah, earlier in the comp, she was all the way down. She's sitting in that #1 position. She doesn't have to win. She just needs to make the podium, either tonight in pipe or later on in slopestyle this weekend, to break that record and be the sole holder of that title.
See if Kelly can step things up, and she does. The right side 900 instead of the 540 there. Back to back with the left side 9. She is landing in a pretty good spot on that wall. Right side 720, setting up for this switch down the pipe 540. And let's see if she can increase this here. Nope, sticking with the 540. But she did add some rotations up top there, turning a 5 into a 9 on that first hit. So might be widening the gap.
Just to throw another stat out there, she's got the most gold before turning 18 years old of any X Games athlete in history, and that total is 5. So there is still time on the clock, so we will get to another round of runs. She is chasing history out here tonight. She is poised to make it. Kelly Silderu sits in the top spot with 1 more round to go when we come back to Women's Ski Superpipe.
In the San Fernando Valley.
When you do something that someone's done before, you already saw that it's kind of possible, you know? But one thing that got me very stoked, like with Samuel Dende, is that he did like stuff that I hadn't seen before. And that stood out to me, and that is like something that I value very highly in skating and in people, you know? To like kind of dare to do your own thing. Skating a wind shear is a lot more difficult. You're layering up with all this clothing, your toes are fucking freezing when you get to the spot, you're stiff, you have like 3 hours of daylight. Plus when it does rain, it's still so humid that it's wet at the spot. It's a lot of like hardships to get through to actually skate. With like the lack of light, you start your day and you go out and you know you only have like a couple of hours of light. And if you work, then you know you go to work when it's dark, you get home when it's dark, and you never see light. And that's like your life for like 6 to 8 months. Just no light, no sunlight. At some point when like 3 months have passed and you haven't had like proper sunlight, even the thought of like getting away and that you could just like get on the plane, get out and it's sunny is feels surrealistic at that point, you know? And then you kind of need that reminder by traveling.
My name is Lauren Ross. I am an Olympic ski racer and I'm an artist. I find many things inspiring about winter sports, but primarily I find the community inspiring and kind of the natural aspect of winter sports. The Olympic values inevitably influence my artwork because I am always pursuing excellence in pretty much everything I do. I'm kind of a perfectionist. So in the process of making these artworks, I have really tried to create with a lot of freedom and not really have too much of a plan. All of my base images are film photographs. Most of them are double exposures. And then from there, I will take a bunch of other film photo images that I've taken and sort of collage them onto the base image, as well as I've been using a lot of athletic figures on my pieces and trying to collage them within this whole scope of the scene. I guess the concept behind all the images is sort of similar. It is about community and friendship. The fun element in my work comes from a sense of wanting to play for me. Being an Olympic athlete of any kind in any sport is a really difficult, serious thing, and it's hard to remember that we're doing it for fun.
February 16, 1862. A blow to the breakaway South during the Civil War. Some 14,000 Confederate soldiers surrendered to Union forces in the Battle of Fort Donelson, Tennessee. 2002.
Families from Walker County and around the world have been horrified to learn that their loved ones may not have been properly laid to rest.
Authorities in Georgia arrest a crematory operator after hundreds of decomposing corpses are found stacked in storage sheds and in the surrounding woods. The operator, Ray Brent Marsh, later pleads guilty and gets a dozen years behind bars. 1987. John Demjanjuk goes on trial in Jerusalem, accused of being the Nazi concentration camp guard known as Ivan the Terrible. Demjanjuk is later convicted, but Israel's Supreme Court overturns that conviction. 1968. America gets the first 911 call, a successful test of the emergency phone number in Haleyville, Alabama. And 2005.
It's all about greed and people wanting to keep their profits. I really don't have any sympathy for the owners or for the players.
The NHL scraps what's left of its season, already decimated by a lockout over a salary cap for its players. Today in history, February 16th. Mike Gracia, The Associated Press.
Welcome back in our studio, and in today's news,